Greetings, my name is Slate, and welcome to a run of Witchcraft by Salt and Pepper Games. I'm pretty sure it's the people who made this. We're going to be playing with my fan-made Curse expansion. This uses a really cool online tool called perchance.org, which allows you to use scripting, their own kind of custom script, to build random generators, and it like seamlessly integrates with CSS and HTML. Really fun to use. I will show you how to do all of that on the screen right now. And it's very simple. You just go there, you read the setup instructions, and you click Generate Curses. And what that will do is that will assign specific actions to the curses that already exist in the game. Currently, these have no text on them, but now each of them will have a unique effect, and they will have a negative and potentially positive effect in most cases. We also see that we rolled a rare curse here, so this is less likely to appear, so it's kind of a more unique curse. That being said, the major changes that we need to keep in mind are that when we're drafting, we actually end up drafting curses before we draft witches. That allows us to draft our coven in a way that actually incorporates the specific unique effects of the curses into play. That way you're not just sort of randomly getting curses. Otherwise that really wouldn't be as fun, because in my opinion, Witchcraft is best as a drafting game. This draft that you do really is the essence of the game, right? Other than that, we do have one other setup change. We are playing on hard mode, which I would suggest that you do not do your first time playing, as it's quite difficult. But the setup changes for hard is to remove the 2-power Evil Witch from the challenge deck. So I'm going to go ahead and set that off to the side. I'm going to put that back in the game box. And if Martha, she has a bonnet symbol, was one of our 3 jurors, then we would give her 1 persuasion. The reason for that is that she's curse aligned, and that actually ends up being a lot harder for us. Now, I have yet to play with Martha. If you play on challenging, this setup change for Martha is far more forgiving. It makes all of her unique challenge cards -1 base power. So I haven't quite tested whether Martha on hard is really possible. I suspect it is, but we're not going to be testing that today. We're just going to be playing through under normal circumstances. Now, the only other thing might be worth thinking about is these card balance changes. Some of these are to add more variety to cards that I think are weak, and otherwise they are to only on hard mode do we have any nerfs. So if you play challenging, you're only going to get buffs, but on hard we do nerf Mary Perrin, who is the best card in the game, only by a 1 base power. And then Catherine Kent turns out to be very good in the Curse expansion. So instead of her getting 1 base power and her hidden effect, she'll get 0. Other than that, Amelia Stevens and Genevieve Roberts are both buffed for this expansion, and we're good to move forward. Now, I'm not going to do a huge over-explain of how I play. I have a video out that takes you through the hard mode of the base game, all my thoughts and kind of why I'm doing what I'm doing, but at this point, I'm just going to play the game, and I'm going to take you along for the ride. So, if you've watched my previous game, you'll kind of know that I like to do a quick review of the specific unique effects of each of these jurors. So, the Nixies for Angel, these are lose a villager card. If you draw the 0, shuffle it into the villager deck and redraw. So, it's just a worse lose a villagers card. So, losing villagers is going to be pretty common. The frog here says, when a villager's card would be lost, you may exile the frog to shuffle the villagers back into the villager's deck instead. That's very good. I'd say it's a powerful effect, and only 2 power means pretty achievable. I'm pretty sure I hate skeletons. I do. Skeletons have a chosen effect. You cannot overcome a mission while it has skeletons. +1 difficulty for each hidden witch in play. These really end up forcing you to reveal witches earlier than you'd like to. And no one likes that. Black Cat, one of my favorites here, +1 power for each revealed witch. Nice and simple. 2, pretty easy to achieve. And then we've got the Owl Familiar. This goes with Putnam over here. +2 power if you have at least 1 other familiar in your play area. Little difficult to achieve. Only 2 power, and you need another familiar And it's 3 to get. This feels like a very weak card to me. I don't think I would be very interested in grabbing that under most circumstances. And then we've got wolves. Wolves are very interesting because they are very hard. They're 4, 4, and 5, but they discard a mission when you succeed on them. So, if you overcome a wolf and then discard a 4 power thing, you ended up, the wolf was 2 and the other thing was a power of 2. So there's a little bit of calculus that can go in there as to what's the best move. So that makes a lot of sense. Good to know about those. I'll shuffle those here in just a second. Let's take a look at these. Our initial setup, we have 2 positive outcome scenarios right at the start. Now, that can be okay as long as we have one that is not like this, because usually these are more difficult to do in the early game. So I'm happy to see that we have a variety here, but we have 2 kind of options to recruit a witch. Those will require us to get kind of good rolls, high power rolls for us, and the benefit will be recruiting a witch. We probably will need to do at least one of them, if not both of them. Although purifying the well can be very difficult. Protect the livestock, I would say, can sometimes be better, an easier one to do, because obviously the 2 guaranteed power isn't always the same as a random challenge card, right? So then for Act 2, we've got retrieve the eel traps from the river. And when you succeed on this, you actually draw 1 fewer card on the next round. Track the predators into the woods. Draw a villager's card and place it beside this mission. Add its value to this mission's difficulty. Oof, that can be really, really bad. That could be a 0, 1, 2, or 3, right? The 3 being the worst. But on average, it's about 1.5, right? And then destroy the skeletons in the cemetery. For each challenge remaining on this mission, lose a villager's card. So I'm seeing a lot of attacks on villagers cards right now, which definitely means I need to be very careful with my villagers. Okay. Then we've got face Jenny Greenteeth in the swamp. When you don't choose her, you lose a villager's card. If we've been very careful by the end game, we might be able to get away with not choosing her at least once. So we'll see how that goes, especially if we have Mary Perrin. We can actually use that to intentionally... one of the things that's interesting about Mary Perrin's design is that you're actually incentivized as the player to let villagers, I guess, die so that she gets more powerful. So that's kind of a unique design mechanic that they've... And it being the best card, in my opinion, in the game, makes that strategy even more powerful. Then we've got Face the Werewolf at the Hunter's Shack. Exile all face-up familiars on missions and in your play area if you do not choose him. So I would say that he isn't too bad. I'm not... well, I did like the frog and I did like the cat, didn't I? So maybe this is an Amelia Stevens game. All right, we'll see. And then banish the Banshee at the Old Crypt. Do not include hidden witches when totaling your power during the resolve mission phase. So we could get away with not choosing this if we were going to reveal everything on a separate mission and then maybe go to trial right after. I think that could work out in some worlds. So not too bad. I think that there's some play there. So we'll shuffle these guys up, set these to the side. All right, so one of the changes that is in the changes to playing with the curse expansion is that you will draft curses before you draft witches. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. And instead of going through all these curses first, what I've done here is I went and I printed this off. That just makes it easy for me to play. So I don't, mostly it's easy for me to show you. There's actually a little bit more here to actually, that's of substance to show, as opposed to just like what's on my computer. Makes it a little easier on me. So let's flip our first two. So we've got the vial and the doll. Now let's look at what these do. The vial is Virulence. The first time each round you lose a villager's card, draw 2 and choose the higher of the 2. Oof, so that is extra bad for villagers. You may choose to place the other villagers on the bottom or the top of the deck. So sometimes that can be good, right? Like let's say you draw a 3 and a 0. You have to pick the 3, but you could put the 0 back on top. If you have a parent in play, you may exile her in order to choose the lower of the 2 villagers. Really what that says is if you're about to lose on villagers, you can exile her to kind of save you as a last-ditch effort, right? Then we have the doll, which is Emptiness. This is a plus or minus. If you have a familiar, discard the familiar and discard this curse to the curse pile. This curse cannot be discarded to the curse pile by any other means. So basically this really is saying, hey, you need to go through the work to get a familiar, and then once you do, these will fizzle out, right? So you don't get the benefit of the familiar, but you also get rid of this curse at the same time. And that does seem pretty good for us. I don't see this as a very good familiar game, especially because I see Predation down here. So let's go ahead and take Emptiness, and then Virulence will be part of the curse deck. All right, and then this is filling out our Coven deck. Next we have the Pendant and the Bundle of Sticks. So the Pendant here is Past Whispers. The negative effect is at the start of the recover phase, reduce the persuasion of the chosen mission's juror by 1. If this curse is ever discarded to the curse pile, all jurors lose 2 persuasion. Okay, got it. If you revealed a Miller this turn, increase the juror's persuasion by 1 instead. I like that. It's like thematically the Miller comes out and is like, no, it's actually like this. Who designed this? I like that. I designed it. So the other one here is also very cool. I might pick this one just because it's cool. Instability. This is a plus or minus effect. At the start of the recover phase, pick up all conviction cards, shuffle them without looking at them, and then deal them out left to right. If they were uncovered before, they remain uncovered. And then if I have a Miller in play, I can choose to ignore this effect on 1 conviction card when resolving this. So if there's one that I want to keep where it is, I can keep that exactly where it is. So I think that sounds fun. Let's do Instability. Although I think both of them are very similar effects. We'll pick the fun one. And then last curse draft here are these two. So we've got the pentagram here, which is Doom. When resolving a mission, all challenges with a chosen effect gain +1 difficulty. If you fail a mission, you lose immediately. All Tancreds get +1 base power. That is a very good benefit, but also a very scary downside. So very risky. I know that because we have skeletons in the challenge deck, due to, I think, Cornelius here, there are going to be more of these sort of chosen cards, which makes me scared off of Doom. That being said, this doesn't feel like a Familiars game, so I think Predation is pretty good. It also has the benefit of, if I do end up taking Stevens, it's a way for me to fish out Familiars and then maybe clear them, like be able to clear the Emptiness curse away. So I think we'll take Predation. We've got 2 things that are kind of hating on Familiars, and we've completed the draft of the curses. Now these curses get shuffled. And now this is a face down curse deck over here. Perfect. And as usual, run out of room a little bit here, but we'll make it work. Okay, that's done. Don't need this right now, unless I need to bring it back up. And now we are just drafting. Okay. Gotta love Norma. Liz is also pretty interesting. Draw 3 cards from the Coven deck. Put all Sullivans drawn this way into your hand. So taking Liz Sullivan here is saying, hey, I'm gonna commit to the Sullivans. The Sullivans are pretty good. They're a good way to get a lot of power. There's a lot of them. They are pretty sticky in the sense that they're kind of hard to get rid of. And they can have really good payoff when there is a lot of them. Norma, on the other hand, very good to be able to uncover challenges on a mission, right? We're definitely looking for Millers, right? Because of our curse setup. Because we've got instability here. We might go for Amelia Stevens as a way to get rid of this curse here. If it's a good pick. If there's like not a bad pick. Also, that reminds me. So I will be playing with these changes here. These are my own card balance changes. But Amelia Stevens has been overall buffed, but technically it's a mix. Her base power on revealed was reduced from 3 to 2. But for every familiar in your play area, she gets +3 instead of +2 power. So what this really means is that if Amelia Stevens goes a little bit harder into familiars and you build around her, you'll get a bigger payoff. It's very hard to get more than 2 familiars. And so if you have 1 familiar, it's the same, but after 1 familiar, it's better. Genevieve Roberts is also one of the weaker cards in the game. And because this is the curse expansion, it makes sense for Genevieve to get buffed. So her base power has been increased by 1 for hidden and revealed. Mary Perrin is a 0/1, and Catherine Kent is a 0 on hidden. So I will be playing with those just as a reminder. I've done a lot of Tancrids. I do think Tancrids is strong, but I think I want power. I don't think I want utility, and the Tancrids are a lot of utility. So I'm going to go Sullivan. Sullivan's in. Norma's out. Okay. We've got Sabrina Lily. For each revealed Lily, including Sabrina, search the jail pile and choose a witch to place on top of the Coven deck. One of the strongest effects in the game because it still gives you 1 power. And if you have something that lets you draw, like let's say we have Liz Sullivan here and we play a Liz Sullivan after, we can just literally free a Sullivan from jail, then draw it into our hand, right? Very strong. Gwen Hayes, you know what? I'm actually convinced, right? Gwen Hayes is really good, though. For each Hayes, discard a face-up challenge. So this is really good at being able to... I see Gwen Hayes as like fixing, right? We get 1 power, but maybe on average we get a little bit better than that because we can remove the worst challenge from the mission, get something else. And her revealed effect, move 1 or 2 face-up challenges from any mission to another mission. This can be a really good way in the late game when you know you're not going to solve one of these other missions, just to like throw a bunch of challenges on it and leave them there forever, right? That is very powerful. I think I'm going to go Lily, and we'll see if that works out. I do love me some Lilies. Now, unfortunately, we have probably the most critical Miller against a Lily that I'd really like to have. This is why drafting is fun, right? Uncovering a conviction card is just a very powerful effect. Swap a face-up conviction card on any juror with a face-up conviction card on another juror. So very self-synergistic Hannah is. She doesn't need the other Millers to be effective. She's the best sort of one Miller wonder. But Pollyanna here is saying like, hey, we're going to go into Lilies. But I think we can't. I think we've got to go for the Miller. So let's do that. Even if we don't get more Millers, right? So we've got Agnes Miller versus Josephine Tancred. Agnes Miller. Draw a conviction card and place it face up in the conviction discard pile. That can be a powerful effect. But her revealed effect is really where she's strongest. It's 4 power, which is great. That's on rate, even slightly above rate. Or I think it's on rate for a powerful revealed effect. But it allows us to reveal a different Miller, get the effect of that revealed Miller, and not have them go to jail, which is very strong. Very strong. So the problem is it's not good, nearly as good as Josephine Tancred. Josephine Tancred is just baseline power level, very strong. So I don't think I can go for Agnes. I think I got to go for Josephine. Okay, we've got Jocelyn Hayes versus Charlotte Kent. Charlotte Kent has our on-rate revealed amount. So she's a good combo with someone like Genevieve Roberts. She's also pretty complicated in the curse expansion because sometimes you really do not want to stack your hand with curses all at once. It's a really good way to lose a mission. That being said, The missions that we've currently drafted are not too bad for us. So taking Charlotte Kent doesn't seem too scary. Jocelyn Hayes here has some look ahead. She can look at the next 3 cards in the challenge deck and kind of fix them if there's any bad ones. And then she also has a powerful revealed effect where she gets to see the future basically, and reduces the complexity of that mission as well. I think we'll go with Charlotte Kent this time, hoping to combine her with Genevieve Roberts. All right, we've got Amelia Stevens, who's a maybe here. Notice that for our playing purposes, she has 2 power, but +3 for each familiar in play. And then Adelaide Miller. Adelaide says, move a face-down conviction card on a juror to the bottom and replace it with a face-up card from the top of the conviction discard pile. Now, we don't have a way, because we don't have Agnes Miller to discard cards. Adelaide Miller is quite weak. So I feel pretty happy with our 1.1er of Hannah Miller here. We'll take Amelia Stevens, and we'll see how it goes. Next up, we've got Catherine Kent versus Elsie Sullivan. Now, one thing I've noticed is we have not seen many of these Sullivans, and that was something we were considering doing. Elsie Sullivan here is a great one to have if we're thinking about going all in on Sullivans. But my concern is that because we haven't seen many of them, we're going to get double Sullivans, basically. And then we're going to lose one forcibly. That being said, Catherine Kent here is really great. For each Kent in play, discard a curse from your hand and then draw a card from the Coven deck to replace it. Anything that can get these curses out of your hands often is very powerful. And because we do have a way to eventually discard a curse to the curse pile, I can see Catherine Kent being really strong. Elsie Sullivan's kind of is something that we could put in the recruit deck and fish out later. Let's see how this goes. Let's just see what happens. Ooh, unfortunate. Unfortunate. So, Genevieve Roberts is a 2 base +1 for each curse in your hand, or a 3 base +2 for each curse in your hand. So if you have 1 curse, she's a 5 or a 3. If you have 2 curses, she is a 7 or a 4, right? So she's definitely buffed. I do like this change because under normal circumstances, it would be absolutely obvious to take Carol Sullivan here. It wouldn't be a no-brainer. And now it's actually pretty tough. I know that I need raw power to overcome, protect our livestock, and purify the well early on. But if I don't take Carol Sullivan, my ability to build out a Sullivan deck gets really, really low. Gets really, really unlikely. And I really like Carol Sullivan's effect. Okay, very tough choice. I don't know if that was right. All right, we've got Mary Perrin versus Phyllis Tancred. Phyllis has our on rate 4 power. Mary Perrin is a 0/1 here. So if we had 3 villagers, she would be a 7 or a 3. Okay, which is a bit better, a little bit less overpowered. Now, we are going to lose a lot of villagers this game. There's a lot that's kind of attacking villagers. So I think Mary Perrin is definitely worth taking, despite the fact that she's nerfed in hard mode. Okay, we've got Marie Tancred and Mercy Lily. I don't think we need Marie Tancred's effect for this specific run. There are some stuff that was really tricky that we might want to ignore the effect of the mission. But for each Lily in play, draw 1 card from the recruit deck, choose 1 to put in your hand, and then shuffle them back. I really like Lily's revealed effect here because we can have a big Lily turn where we get stuff out of the jail, we get stuff from the recruit deck. We really push ourselves to be able to fight into the late game. I think I'm happy with Mercy Lily here. All right. And we've got another tough choice. So Liliana Sullivan here is essentially the way that we would fish out stuff from the from the recruit deck. Search the recruit deck and take a Sullivan to put on top of the Coven deck. Eleanor Lilly here is also very strong. She allows us to dig through our deck. I would love both of these cards. I think because I'm going for the Sullivan synergy, I want to pick Liliana Sullivan. And then this Sullivan choice has been brutal. Maybe we can make Michelle Sullivan work. Obviously, Jane Kent here is really strong. In the challenging difficulty, Jane Kent is also buffed. Because you would normally just only want to use her for her revealed effect, and there is a lot of value in doing that, she gets +3 power if you have no curses in your hand in the challenging difficulty. But in hard, we don't get that. It's not quite that simple. Let's commit to the bit. Let's see how the Sullivans can do, and let's get this show on the road. So we've got Mercy Lilly, Hannah Miller, The Curse of Emptiness, Mary Perrin, and Amelia Stevens here. So, The Curse of Emptiness. If you have a familiar, discard the familiar and discard this curse. So basically, this curse can't be discarded. But if we were able to get lucky and capture a face-up familiar right now, that would be very strong. That would be very strong. All right. So, if we go baseline power here, I am looking pretty weak. I do get to uncover a conviction card, which is strong. But I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 0 for Mary Perrin. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total power. I really don't feel comfortable. Now, I do like that I didn't get any Sullivans. That means that it's more likely that I'm going to draw a stack of Sullivans in the next round. So that does bode well, at least in that way. So, I haven't played anything. Just looking around. Keep in mind that Amelia Stevens' baseline is 2 here, +3 for each familiar. And if I had to, I could reveal Mercy Lilly here to try to make sure that I pass whatever mission. So I think I need to go for the easiest one this time. So we're going to go here. Okay. So currently, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's 4, 5. So I would lose a villager's card, and I would lose a persuasion on Cornelius if I didn't do anything else. Is that acceptable? Now, if I lose a villager's card that is a 2 or 3, then I will be able to actually get the possessed here because I'll gain 2 power from Mary Perrin. So I think I'm okay with this. I think I'm committing to this. Unfortunate we didn't see a familiar there. So I am going to overcome this. My total power now is, remember this is 0, is 4. This is overcome. Now I have to fail missions. So I'm going to fail this challenge card. And as long as I get a 2 or a 3 here, I get a 1, which is not enough. So that puts me at a total of 5 power. This is the kind of thing that's weird about Mary. Is like you're like, why do I want 2 villagers to die? But nonetheless, the mechanic doesn't have to make perfect sense. She's mad, right? The reality, it's not Mary who's deciding these things, right? So maybe it's my problem. You know, maybe I need to think about what Mary's incentives are. Anyway, we fail this possessed, so Cornelius's persuasion goes down by 1. Unfortunate. And then, oh, I did forget to uncover a conviction card. I'll do that here in just a sec. So I gain my 2 persuasion on Cornelius by completing this. And then I think I'm always kind of scared about Putnam and Angel. They just have a lot of... I always feel like it's tough to beat their missions. Let's take a look at Angel here. Okay, we got a 2. Not too bad. All right, but this. We passed this mission. We've gained the... And I'm going to set these off to the side. You'll be able to see a little bit of them right there. And we made it out alive, didn't we? All right, next mission. We've got retrieve the eel traps from the river. It's got 4 challenge cards, and it has a negative effect when we succeed on it, which is unfortunate. Okay, and let's draw. Okay, we've got Carol Sullivan, Catherine Kent, Charlotte Kent, the Predation Curse, and Josephine Tancred. As a reminder, the Predation Curse basically says, whoops, all familiars have no effect while this is in my hand. When a Stevens is played, look through the challenge deck for any familiar, set it aside, shuffle the challenge deck, and put it on top. Now that is a slightly different effect than the challenging difficulty. A lot of these effects are more forgiving and challenging. In that one, you actually get to take the familiar that you find and put it on any mission that you'd like. So that is actually far better than putting it on top of the deck, right? So we've got Josephine Tancred and Carol Sullivan. Both of these are great. Ideally, we wouldn't want to be revealing these right now. Ideally, we would also be completing either Purify the Well or Protect Our Livestock. Sideways. So I can use Catherine Kent to discard a curse from my hand and draw something to replace it. That seems pretty strong. And I can do Charlotte Kent first. Charlotte Kent would be 1 power. And if I can find a curse, then I could discard 2 of them and draw 2. That seems worth it. Now notice that Catherine Kent is nerfed in hard. She is 0. All right, so Catherine Kent, hidden base is 0 because her hidden effect is very powerful. So let's try to go fishing. I'm looking for a curse in the top 3. No curses. And I can put them back in any order. So which one of these do I want? Oh, wow, interesting. I want Liz on top. Don't I? Yeah. Liz on top. Okay. Okay. We did not get a curse, but I can put them back in any order. Then for every Kent, I can discard a curse and draw a card. I'll draw Liz. Okay. Then I'm going to play Liz and put all Sullivans drawn into my hand. And that is 1, 2 Sullivans. And now I know I've got Sabrina Lily and a curse here. That puts me at 1, 2, 3, 4 Sullivans, which means that I will be able to use Michelle Sullivan's reveal effect this turn, which is insane. Now, what is my power at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is pretty low. I can fix that with Josephine Tancred. She's my ace in the hole if I just need power. The reason for that is because her revealed effect is essentially a 2-for-1. Very powerful. Very, very strong. And being able to use Michelle Sullivan's reveal effect is exactly why we go into Sullivan synergy here. Like, the reality is I could go and exile one of Angel's things here, and then I know that she would be only a 2 for persuasion the rest of the game, which is really, really strong. So I'm going to hold. I'm not going to play any of these. I'm sitting at 2 power. Remember, Catherine is 0 here. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and choose Purify the Well. Josephine Tancred is especially good against Putnam because we have these 4 and 5 value things. And then Josephine Tancred is able to discard and gain the power level of the wolf, which ends up being very strong. So right now, I need 6. I've only got 2. If I discard the wolf, then I'll be up to 6, and this will be gone. And then I could gain 7, 8. But the tough thing here is that right now this is 2, 3, 4, 5 skeletons, man. Note that Josephine's effect gains the unmodified difficulty. So this 4 value, I would just gain a 2 if I discarded the skeleton itself. So it's not as good. Ideally, I think I would go big here. I really want Carol, and ideally I would take Liliana here, but I'm getting my kind of Sullivan payoff right now. So I think I'm okay revealing Liliana, and that's going to discard this. So that puts me at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 total, and I need 6. I would exile 1 random hidden witch. That is the negative impact I would get. 1 random hidden witch. I think that's worth it for the opportunity to play Michelle Sullivan for her revealed effect. And I'm going to exile this card, which is a 5. The 5 has been exiled. It is not discarded. I am moving it off the playmat above like this. Very exciting. Cool. Love it. Now, 4, 5, 6. Both of these have been discarded. 7, 8, 9, 10. So we get rid of the 3. We fail the wild boar. As long as it's not Carol, right? Ooh. Right, this one. All right. None of them are good to get rid of, but we'll exile her. Now, as a reminder, exiling in the Wish expansion, the Curse expansion, is slightly different. These can come back into play in some situations. Don't think that we actually have that situation in our game right now, but it's important to remember. All right, jail. You've gone to jail, guys. Hope you like it there. All of these guys we get to keep. We have pretty much guaranteed Angel. Now we literally get to add 2 to her, which puts her up to 3. And she is already set, right? So this is good. And this is complete. So we get to recruit a witch. And this is actually a little bit of a thoughtful decision for me. I'm going to go ahead and set this off to the side, but I know that when you recruit, it goes into your Coven discard pile, and because we're going to draw 2 cards, that recruited witch may come into my hand immediately. So I get to recruit from the recruit deck, and we get Eleanor Lilly. Let's go. Very strong. Very powerful for us. I think we have both of our lilies still. So a big lily turn would make a huge difference. Yep. In our ability to kind of like our staying power, right? That's kind of the idea there. All right, Eleanor Lily's in. This is done. Let's draw a new challenge, new mission, excuse me. All right, we got destroy the skeletons in the cemetery. For each challenge, lose a village card. So when you take on this challenge, you really need to go full bore. Full bore. Now, because Angel's good, we may get away with never having to do this eel traps. And because it has a negative effect on success, that might be ideal. We may actually never progress this forward. And we might be okay with that. Perfect. I'm not going to trial, so I draw 2 cards, and then let's shuffle. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oof. Okay, so we've got double lilies and Mary Perrin here, and then we've got 2 curses. So, Curse of Predation. Do I have an extra card? Oh, shoot. I do have an extra card. 1, 2, 3. No, I don't. 5. Curse of Predation will have no impact, but Instability does. Instability is going to trigger. Oh, I didn't think about this with Angel. Could have played around this a little bit better. Could I have? I have no idea. At the start of the recover phase, very critical, so this is after the mission is complete, pick up all conviction cards and shuffle them without looking at them. Any conviction cards which were already uncovered remain uncovered, so this 2 will remain. Then redistribute them left to right. So, interestingly enough, because Angel is the one that we exiled, I did think about this. When we distribute them left to right again, she will still have 1, but she may not have her 2 anymore. So we'll see what happens there. If I have a Miller in play, I could ignore part of this, but currently I do not. So, I do think we need to have a bigger turn here. There's no easy place to go. Ideally, recruiting a witch would be good. But on top of the Coven deck, huh? Mary Perrin is at a 1+2, so this is maximum of 3 points right now. Maximum of 3 points, so a very weak turn here. I know I cannot do the skeletons in the cemetery. I could conceivably do this one. I think I would need to reveal both of my lilies to do it. And I would be looking for something I could recruit that would help me. Like a Genevieve Roberts would be really strong. So depending on the order I play these in, means that I get a better effect for each one. If I play Sabrina second, I get to get 2 people from the jail on top of my deck. Very powerful. But I need to make sure that I pass this, whatever challenge I do here. I need to pass. And Lily, if I play her second, I will get to draw 2 cards and choose one, which may be better because my issue may be now or later. All that being said, the easiest challenge is actually the eel traps here. So I think we have to make the prudent choice and choose the eel traps even though we don't really want to. Because failing a mission at this point would be really, really bad. It's always bad. You pretty much never want to fail. So I am not going to play anything yet. I'm going to choose this mission. Okay, not too bad. That's actually good for us. Oof, that's not good. That isn't terrible. Oof, okay. All right. So no chosen effects, which is good. I can kind of play this game where I could lose a villager's card and see what happens. Now, importantly, order matters here. Let's take a look at the order. Interesting. For each challenge, so suffer the aftermath comes after overcoming the mission. So any remaining total power is equal to and greater than you have overcome it. And then you fail everything else. Oh, so I've actually been playing that slightly wrong. So in our case, we can't really wargame Mary Perrin here with the Plague Rats. These failures would occur after we, pass or fail the mission. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is what I've got right now. So I would fail the wolf and 2 plague rats if I did that. I really don't think that's a doable thing. So now do I risk it? I think I have to play Sabrina Lily first as a reveal. Okay. I can take one of these and put it on top of the deck, and we definitely want Josephine Tancred. And then I will play Mercy Lily, which means I get to draw 2 cards. I think Norma's the best one here. Okay. So now we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I can discard a challenge card. So 4, 5, 6, 7. And I can discard this challenge card. So I'm going to discard this. Let me just make sure. No, I can't commit to the wolf. I don't have enough. Okay, so I will overcome these 2 and the challenge. All right, and that gives me 4 on Angel, and I think I'm going to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, because that guarantees Angel's good, even if her stuff gets swapped around. I wouldn't want to do that, but because I have instability, I have to account for the scenario where this is a 6 and it gets moved here, right? And then I will keep this on top of the deck. That's what I like to do because I have to draw 1 fewer next turn. And then I lose a villager's card. I got the 1. So if I draw a 3 next, I lose the game. All of these guys go to jail. Sorry, guys, you went to jail. And then my 2 curses stick around. This has already been resolved. And next. Okay, that's 5 challenge cards. Tough challenges. Really tough. All right, and now I will resolve this effect where I only draw 4 cards. I've already drawn 2 of my curses, which is pretty good, and I know I have Josephine Tancred here. Catherine Kent. I've got a good round here. We've got Josephine, Eleanor Lilly, Catherine Kent, and Hannah Miller. We definitely could do worse. We have 4 cards left, and we know one of them is a curse. I forgot. I have to do instability here. At the end of the recovery phase, I pick all these up, and then I don't look. I guess you guys can see. Okay, and then deal them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right, so I have 3 curses in the curse pile, so this could be 6. Right now, I'm getting nothing from her hidden effect. I don't have any curses in my hand. I could uncover another conviction card. I can get 2 recruits on top of the deck. And I've got Josephine Tancred for fixing. I think I'd really love to protect our livestock here. But my concern is if I have to do a bunch of reveals for that it's actually potentially not worth it. But the staying power of getting a recruit for free is quite strong. The other option here is just doing the things that are going to matter the most. The problem is, maybe the best thing here is to take on Destroy the Skeletons, because it's a tough one. And that'll give Cornelius enough. That gets us into a place where we could at least tie. Maybe we can't win, but sometimes you can't win, and you still need to play your best, right? We always go for the win, the true win, where we get every juror, but it's thoughtful for us to, at least guarantee 2 people, right? Or at least shoot for 2 people. I think my hand is strong enough that I feel okay going for a harder mission. I think I'm going to choose the skeletons. Okay, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. If we don't... So let's take a look at this. I can use Tancred to discard this. And now we're at 3 power. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we have 3. If I do this, that's 6 plus 3 is 9 power. And so I am short by 2 power. I could risk it on the Nixies. I had to reveal Mary Perrin. That is brutal. That is brutal. So I think what we do here is we just reveal Hannah so that we can do a full clear, because that is 3, 6 plus 3 is 9, 10, 11. And we can reveal Eleanor Lilly to recruit 2 to keep us moving. But we are running out of steam if we do this. Big time. Big time running out of steam. Eleanor Lilly does help with that, though. Maybe it's better to take the risk on the Nixies. If I did this, then I would have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But I don't need these, so it's just 10. So I would fail the Nixies, right? So I'd only need 10, and I've got... That's 10 right there, and it would let me uncover a conviction card. All right, I think we risk it for the biscuit here. We're going to use Josephine Tancred here. We're going to reveal this 6, okay? We are going to take 2 recruits to the top of the deck from Eleanor Lilly. And then we are going to pass this and pass this. We overcome the mission. So I want to put 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, which gets us exacties on Cornelius. This has been resolved. And now we fail the Nixies. And if it's a 3, we lose. Okay. We're still in it. We are still in it. All right. So these guys go to jail. We keep Hannah Miller. And I am not feeling good about this run. Feels pretty tough. All right, face the werewolf. Exile all face-up familiar on your missions and in your play area. That's not a big deal for us. We have none of those. So luckily, this one's one we can kind of ignore. But a very difficult one to face. And then let's draw 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see what we get. We've got Agnes Miller, Marie Tancred, Amelia Stevens. We have a Curse of Emptiness, and Liz Sullivan. Now, I'm pretty sure, do we have Carol? We do not have Carol Sullivan. So Liz here, I think, is going to pull Carol Sullivan. So I feel pretty good about that. We've got a 4 here. We could use Marie Tancred to go to track the predators into the woods and ignore the effect of this mission. That doesn't sound bad. I think that's our best bet toward victory. I think it is. I think it is. All right, I'm going to choose this mission. Ooh, very cool. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad here. So we've got 4. I know I'm playing Marie Tancred and ignoring the effect of this mission. I'm certainly playing Amelia Stevens and capturing this familiar, which then immediately fizzles out these 2 things. So this is exiled, and this is returned to the curse deck, and anytime you discard to the curse deck, you shuffle them. Okay. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, I think I want to do this. So if I do this, I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I'm at 6, 9, right? But I'm almost certain this is Carol Sullivan, and I am willing to bet the game on it. Carol Sullivan. So I'm resolving Liz Sullivan's effect here. And, technically, I would draw 3 cards here. And then I could put them back in any order. So I know that I've got 2 curses on the top of the deck. So who do I want to put? So this is 7. Oh, Mary Perrin. 1 plus 8, 9 points. She's back. Out of jail. Carol Sullivan's going to be played for her revealed effect. That puts us at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 versus 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we will overcome all of these. We will fail this in a second. We overcome this. We did not have to do the villager stuff, so we can put 4 points here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Then this gets failed. This is achieved. These guys all go to jail. These guys are not in jail. We draw the next mission. And 5, 1, 2, 3. We need 2 more. I think we can go 1 more round. I think we could go 1 more round. We've got Hannah Miller, Liz Sullivan, and Mary Perrin. Mary Perrin really makes it possible, I think. All right. 1, 2. Okay. I'm not going to go to trial. I'm going to go 1 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then heads, I go left. All right. Liz Sullivan. Okay, so that puts us with Mary Perrin. We've got predation and instability. Hannah Miller and Liz Sullivan. Who is this again? Oh no. It's not a Sullivan. Okay, so 4, 9, and then we'll see what Hannah Miller's got going on. I really need to hit. Instability is going to change things up. Is the tough part, right? Is this Amelia? I think it's Amelia Stevens. It's Amelia Stevens. Okay, yeah, that's right. I could. No, it's just never worth it to go here. This is already a difficult challenge. We would just want to go for the big ones. Now, I think that it is hard to, this one is the easier one. And so I could put 3 here, and then we could just see what happens. I don't have any information as to which one's the right choice. I know I've got 4 plus 9, 13, 15 or 14 points is kind of what I'm working with. Predation, nothing. No Amelia Stevens here to utilize this effect. And we are going to get an instability trigger right at the end here. So I think I'm going to pick the Banshee. Ooh, not too bad. I can gain curses all day right now. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I just need 10. I don't mind the curses. They don't matter because I won't play another round. Perfect. So I've got 13, 14. I'm going to reveal this. It's a 6. Of course it's a 6. Oh, no. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. That's done. Now I've got my stuff. I will overcome 1, 4. I've forgotten how much. I think I'm 14, right? Yeah, 9, 13, 14. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14. I gain 1 curse. The Curse of Virulence goes to my discard pile, which is here. These are all overcome. I overcome the Banshee. I'm going to put 3 over here. 1, 2, 3. And you guys go to jail. You guys get discarded. And instability triggers. And because I had 1 Miller in play, I can choose 1 conviction card to remain where it is. And I'm going to pick the 2 here. So I'm going to pick up everything else. And then pray to God. The 6 going to Angel would be amazing. I like this curse a lot. This is fun. It is like you're having to like play for the possibility of it being anywhere. Okay. 4. Oh, we did get lucky. Okay, the 6. Okay. All right. Miller's done. Curse is complete. We fail this. We already got the curse. And we are going to trial. So, Angel passes with a 7. We've got a 6 total here. Cornelius passes at 6 exactly. And then Putnam here has 8. We've got a 4 plus a 3, which is 7, which is a victory. And our measly group of people at the end here, lots of curses. We've got Amelia Stevens and Hannah Miller who made it in the end. And you start to see the power of Mary Perrin. Still 9 points of power in the late game. Insanely strong. Great game. That was fun. I'll see you in the next one.